Making money playing golf or PGA on PrizePicks is a lot easier than you may think. I'm going to keep it real with you guys and show you exactly how to do this. And no, I'm not going to show you 5, 10, 12 different websites you have to go to find all of these different golf metrics in order to find what players you should be betting on. It's a heck of a lot simpler than that. We're going to be plus EV betting. We're going to be comparing PrizePicks lines and odds directly back to the sportsbooks to find the best value plays on PrizePicks in the PGA. This is a mathematically proven strategy to be profitable over the long term when you actually do it right, and you can actually do this for any sport, not just PGA. I have a ton of videos talking about plus EV betting in other sports here on the channel as well, so make sure you guys check that out. Now, plus EV betting in golf, you're thinking to yourself, how does that work exactly? Well, just like any other sport, these sportsbooks aren't stupid. They know everything about these golfers, the course that they're playing on, their strengths, weaknesses, etc. Just like anything you can look up and more. For instance, you could be looking up on various different websites metrics like strokes gained or distance off the tee, greens in regulation, and such. But if you guys don't think that the sportsbooks know all of this already, then you're absolutely out of your mind. So let the sportsbooks do all the hard work and paint the picture for you. All of this data is already baked into the projections and the odds these sportsbooks are setting. And that's exactly why you just need one tool that is going to help you scan the sportsbook market and find where the best value is on PrizePicks. And yeah, this website's called Daily Grind Fantasy, and it does exactly that. But it goes even further. It does the math on the back end to find the true fair odds percentage or odds percent to hit these sportsbooks are really giving these plays. And because PrizePicks is a set payout platform and they never change your odds or payouts for whether you take an over or an under, you are always able to take advantage of these plays that are heavily favored on the sportsbooks on an app like PrizePicks, where you are getting each individual leg at minus 119 odds no matter what, in 5 and 6 man flexes. Now, the one exception to this is correlation, and unfortunately golf is super correlated, so if you have multiple plays that are in the same direction in your slips, they're going to payout shift you. For instance, if you have multiple players to go under their round score in a slip together, then you're going to see a payout shift. If you have multiple players to go over birdies or better, then they're going to go ahead and payout shift you. And you most definitely do not want to be playing payout shifts on PrizePicks, so the best way to avoid this is by playing just 1 or 2 golf plays in your slip and mixing in other plus EV plays from other sports and esports. Now let's look at some of the top plays in PGA for PrizePicks, which is round 1 of the US Open. That is tomorrow from when I'm filming this video. We can see that there is 2 plays at the very top for under birdies or better. We have Sungjae Im and Corey Connors. Now, why is this a plus EV play? Well, we only have 1 data point, but to a pretty sharp sportsbook in DraftKings. They are favoring both of these plays at minus 145 to the under of 2.5 birdies. Remember, we get this same exact play at minus 119 odds on PrizePicks. Essentially, DraftKings believes this has a much better chance to hit the under than what PrizePicks believes it does based off of the odds that each of them are setting. Now, as always, the more data points, the better, and the more confident we can be in these plays when we have the backing from multiple different sportsbooks. This Russell Henley under 73.5 strokes play actually has 3 different sportsbooks or DFS apps that have lines for this and odds. We can see that FanDuel is heavily favoring the under of 73.5 strokes at minus 140, DraftKings at 73.5 as well, minus 140 to the under, but we have Better, which is another DFS app that has already bumped this down to 73 strokes. So we can see that this is very heavily favored to go under 73.5 strokes, and we're getting it again at the best odds possible of minus 119 on PrizePicks. So ask yourself this, are you going to trust PrizePicks is right with this projection, having that 73.5 and minus 119 odds, or the 3 other data points that are all agreeing with each other that this actually has a very good chance to go under 73.5 based off the odds and their projections? I'll answer that for you. Trust the market. These sportsbooks are extremely sharp and have multi-million-dollar algorithms and models, and take money from sharp bettors to set these projections and odds. And now real quick, let me explain why getting a play at minus 119 when it's supposed to actually be minus 140 is such a big deal over the long term and how it makes you profitable. For instance, if we were to place a $100 straight bet at minus 140 odds, we would only profit $71. However, if we took that same straight bet and we scanned the market and found the best possible odds of minus 119 and we bet it, we would profit $84. We would win an extra $13 in profit just from line shopping and finding the best possible odds, all while gaining the confidence from the market, telling us this has a much better chance to hit based off the odds they are giving it. That's plus EV betting right there. And imagine if you added some volume to that. If you could find 20, 30, even 50 plays every single night where you are winning more money than you technically deserve based on the market, it adds up. You already line shop or price compare and make smart decisions like this in everyday life. For instance, if you are going grocery shopping for your weekly groceries and you went to Aldi and it was going to be $120 for what you needed, you went to Publix and it was going to be $115 for what you needed, but if you went to Walmart, you knew that you would pay only $100 for the exact same amount of groceries. Well, where would you go shopping? Of course, you would go to Walmart and get the cheapest price possible. And over the long term, as you were going to Walmart to get your groceries over those other stores, you would actually be stacking profits, aka savings, and you would be making a smart decision. Just think about these stores like sportsbooks. If you went to Walmart every single week for your groceries for a year, you would make or save about $1,000. Now, just imagine if you could do that for every single bet when you're sports betting. If you could just find the specific sportsbook that has the cheapest possible price and bet it there and give yourself an extra $20 per bet, imagine how much profit you are leaving on the table by not doing this. And since you can't play 5 and 6 man flexes full of just PGA plays without a payout shift, you're going to need to know that you can do this in other sports, as I mentioned earlier. So let me give you an example here in the NBA, so that way you could put in a few NBA plays or MLB plays into your golf slips as well. Well, Kevin Porter, under 6.5 assists, is what was being recommended on Daily Grind Fantasy's optimizer, but why is that? That's because all of these other major sportsbooks and DFS apps also have this listed at 6.5, but are heavily favoring their odds to the under of 6.5 assists at average odds of about -147. So we have 10 data points that all agree this has a good chance to go under at about a 55.66% chance to hit. Now that's fine for a PrizePicks 5 and 6 man flex when we need our average fair odds percentage or odds percent to hit of our entire slip to be above 54.2+% if we want it to be a full plus EV slip. Here's an MLB example, and this time it doesn't really have to do so much with the odds as it does the projection. All of these major sportsbooks have this projected at 4.5Ks. Well, PrizePicks is 0.5 higher at 5, so that creates some value taking the under of 5 on PrizePicks, where he would need 6 to beat us, as opposed to 5 to beat us on the sportsbooks. I mean, you can even line compare in esports. You have 3 different DFS apps telling you that this play should be set to 27.5, but yet PrizePicks has it set to 29.5. Are you gonna listen to just PrizePicks that is pricing this 2 kills higher than the entire establishing market at 27.5? No. Listen to the 3 different DFS apps that are all agreeing. Remember, these sports books and DFS apps all set lines independently, so if they're setting it at 27.5 and 3 books have it there, they're doing it for a reason. Now, if you guys did want to check out Daily Grind Fantasy and start plus EV betting, PGA, and other sports, make sure you guys go to the description down below. I'll leave a link, and if you use code DustinDGF47, you'll actually get 25% off your very first month. Now, just because you're plus EV betting doesn't mean you're gonna hit every single prop or slip that you place. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. This is still gambling. But what you are doing is getting the best possible value that is going to set you up to profit over the long term if you keep doing it. Now that is going to be it for the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed and or learned something. If you did, make sure you leave a like and don't forget the subscribe button on the way out as we post sports betting content like this every single week.